car crashes, rampant drug and alcohol abuse, multiple positive tests for performance-enhancing drugs, arrests, domestic violence, and the worst title reign in UFC history. Just what legacy is Jon Jones trying to protect? It has been made public that Jon Jones, once the Aspinall fight is signed, wants 6 months to prepare for it. Now, this is just unfair to the fans, unfair to Tom, unfair to everybody that's been waiting for this fight to happen. Tom has already been out since July. You've already been out since November. We're almost to April at this point, you know? Like, it's the 20th. We're almost to April. That means the soonest Jon Jones wants this fight to take place is probably Madison Square Garden in November. And the fans have had it. It is time to strip Jon Jones. Alex Pereira lost at UFC 313, and that right there killed Jon Jones's last hope of avoiding Tom Aspinall in terms of staying champion. As you can see right here from Happy Punch, this says Jon Jones reportedly wants 6 months to prepare for Aspinall once it's locked in. The clock is ticking. It feels like if summer's the goal, it's starting to slip away. 6 months. Now, it sounds like Jon Jones wants to do a steroid cycle before this fight with Tom Aspinall, but this right here is Ariel Helwani and his crew talking about this.
Dana White said on First Take, Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall might happen this summer. So
Aspinall. The plan is to fight Jon this summer.
Clock is ticking on that one because, you know, I was told that Jon wants 6 months to prepare if the fight is locked in. And what's 6 months from now? September? Now, I'm sure, you know, money talks, but it feels like the summer, you know, if that is the goal, it's starting to slip away a little bit.
So there's Ariel Helwani and his crew talking about how this means September at the earliest, which really means probably November at Madison Square Garden, because the October pay-per-view is almost always in Abu Dhabi, unless they add a second one. Like last year, they had the Salt Lake City one with Pereira Roundtree in October as well. But in all likelihood, this means September in Vegas or November in New York. But this is starting to feel like a Conor McGregor comeback, you know, where we're just like, oh yeah, he's never going to fight again. I'm starting to feel that same way about Jon, to be honest. And I was speculating why 6 months, potentially a steroid cycle for Jon Jones. But also this right here is very interesting. Jon Jones will become the longest reigning heavyweight champion in UFC history in 5 months and says he needs 6 months to fight Aspinall. This is not a coincidence. So the drug abusing, steroid cheating, rule breaker, cheat, bad person overall, or at least from the things he's done that have gotten him in trouble with the UFC and the law, is worried about the legacy of accolades, such as longest reigning champion, two-weight champion, things like that. It's really disappointing to see literally the worst championship reign possibly ever. It's tough because to the casual fan, this is being pushed as the best fighter of all time. But to us that really understand what's going on, this is the best fighter of all time with a bunch of asterisks, avoiding his hardest fight of his career. Like I said, because he's got meet and greets, all these different things where he'll make more money and make money more often if he's active UFC heavyweight champ. He was really trying to run from this Aspinall bout altogether and fight Alex Pereira. And this was after UFC 313, where Alex Pereira lost. He posted a statement on his Instagram saying, "Thank you to the fans. I'll be back, blah, blah, blah." And Jon deleted his comment, which deleted everyone else's replies. So this is no longer on Alex Pereira's post. But Jon Jones commented, "Disappointing. I was looking forward to sharing the octagon with you." And Tom Aspinall said, "You got nowhere else to run, Jon," which is true. We're at the point of retirement or fight Aspinall. There is no other fight. Okay. And it seems like Aspinall is honestly ready to move on. It looks like we're probably going to get Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane for a vacant heavyweight belt, or Tom being promoted to undisputed. This is Andy Aspinall, Tom's dad, saying, "For me, if a guy doesn't want to fight for the belt, he should vacate it." Tom isn't bothered about Jon Jones. He's just another body in the gym, another bum in the shower. Basically, Tom wants to get on with it. Tom wants to fight for the undisputed belt. he wants to be undisputed champion. He is the best heavyweight, and he just wants to prove it. We've seen the interviews. That's all Tom Aspinall wants to prove, is that he's the best heavyweight in the world right now. And Jon Jones has so many other things on his mind about legacy and the money. And it's just so obvious how Tom is young and hungry, and Jon is just playing games because he's accomplished so much. And he clearly does not care about holding up the division or Tom's career. And it's just funny because this is absolutely the worst title reign in UFC history. His most previous fight was his first defense of the heavyweight belt, and he beat 42-year-old Stipe Miocic, who hadn't fought in nearly 4 years and got knocked out in his last fight by Francis Ngannou, who's not even in the promotion anymore. He's in PFL. And before that, he won the vacant belt that Francis vacated when he fought Ciryl Gane. And this is Ciryl Gane, okay? Jon Jones submitted him in 2 minutes. This is Ciryl Gane getting manhandled in sparring by Nasruddin Imavov, who just KO'd Izzy, who's mainly a striker, and he's a middleweight, probably outside of camp, probably 210 pounds. He's probably got 30 to 40 pounds that he's giving up to Ciryl in this clip, and he's ragdolling Ciryl Gane. And I do want to say that sparring is deceiving. You don't know if one guy's fresh and one guy's on his 10th round of the day or something like that, but this is Ciryl Gane getting manhandled by a middleweight.
Good job.
So that's Jon Jones's legacy, is coming off of a KO loss and not fighting for 4 years, Stipe Miocic, and that. And he didn't have to test his striking at all against Ciryl. He just took him down and submitted him in 2 minutes. And it was such a poor performance by Ciryl that there was actually a corner of the MMA fan base that thought he threw the fight. So Jon Jones is just running from Tom Aspinall. It's despicable at this point, especially when you consider this context that Jon Jones has failed drug tests of his own multiple times and wants $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall, who's just 6 years younger than him and never taken a steroid in his life, or at least never failed a test for it. And this video right here was DC, who was willing to fight Jon Jones, 9 years younger than him, and failing a drug test. I mean, many of us have seen this, but this is just the mindset difference between someone like DC and Tom Aspinall compared to Jon Jones.
Come on. Man, it's so hard. I can do, like, outside the release, and we can just fight. Can't do it. That's a bummer.
DC literally in tears that the commission and Dana won't let him fight somebody that is on drugs. So it's just a mindset difference. And like this quote up here says, prepare for mental gymnastics from Jones fans. Hilarious. But that's really what it is. Jones fans will sit here and somehow make him ducking Tom Aspinall make sense to them and be like, oh yeah, these Jones haters and all that. He's failed drug tests. He's crashed cars. He's beat women. I mean, just be honest about what it is. He's not the best fighter of all time without some serious forgiveness from the UFC and the fan base, because TJ Dillashaw failed a drug test as well, and he got outcast from the sport and got like essentially blackballed by the fan base, where TJ's a snake, this, that, and the other. And I'm not necessarily some huge TJ fan, but I don't mind him, especially when you see him compared to Jon Jones. You have somebody he's hurt people physically in the cage while using performance-enhancing drugs, and he's hurt people out of the ring that were defenseless. You know what I mean? At what point do we stop letting Jon Jones decide what happens with the UFC belt? Because I thought the UFC learned their lesson from Conor McGregor, not letting the fighter get too powerful to where they essentially control the promotion in regards to them, and the promotion doesn't have much control over that fighter. I thought they learned that lesson from Conor McGregor, but I guess not, because Jon Jones is just making a complete mockery of the heavyweight belt and of the sport, and it makes Dana and them look like they have to just bow down to Jones to get this fight. And I'm nearing the point where I don't even care. I want the fight to happen, but I'm nearing the point where I'm like, just get on with it. Retire or don't. Fight Aspinall. Like, just pick something. Just don't sit here and do meet and greets and seminars while you push back this fight so that you can keep getting paid six figures for a signing, or 6 figures for a meet and greet autograph signing. Like, let's get on with it, man. This is a sport. It's supposed to be the best fight the best. What's going on? Let me know your thoughts down below. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.